Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I go by Hiram or Bogwa. Hey guys, welcome back. So today we'll be looking at the selection sort algorithm, and we'll be using the same data as we used in the bubble sort algorithm. If you haven't seen the bubble sort algorithm, please go watch that first. Now, as you can see here, we have the print list method. Now we're going to use this method to print out the list of data. So let's go ahead and compile this first and see the output that we get. As you can see, we have a list of data. So the way the selection sort algorithm works is we're going to define a minimum index. Now this is because I'm sorting from lowest to highest. Now you can reverse this and use a max index if that's the way that you're comparing. But for this algorithm, I'll do lowest to highest. And the way it works is I'll define a mean index. Initially, it's going to be this first element. So after I've defined my mean index, I'll loop through the rest of the numbers and I'll try and find the lowest value. And after going through this once and finding which element is smaller than 3, I'll go ahead and swap that element with the 3. Now, the difference between this and the bubble sort algorithm is we're not consistently swapping. We're waiting till we find the smallest element and then swap. So now I'll go ahead and define the algorithm. So outside this initial for loop, I'll define a mean index. And to start, I'll define the mean index as I. So again, the mean index to start off will be the index 0. And then next, we're going to start looking for the mean index for any element that's smaller than our mean index, starting from the second element. So we already have this as the mean index. So we're going to want to start the inner for loop from the next element. And here, what we're trying to do is find the next minimum value in our list. So here, as you can see, we're looping through the rest of the element and finding the minimum index. So we start by initializing the minimum index as 0, right? Because I starts from 0. And then we look for anything that's smaller than the value that we have in the 0 index. And then if we find a value that's smaller than that, we set that as the new minimum index. So first it will skip 7, you'll skip 20, and then you'll find 2, and you'll set 2 as the minimum index, and then continue until it finds 1, and 1 would be smaller, but it'll still continue all the way to the end, but it will not find anything else that's smaller than 1. So after the first run, the minimum index will be set to the index containing value 1. So after we find the minimum index, we now want to swap the value of I with the value in the minimum index. So now I'll go ahead and print out the data. So let's go ahead and compile it and see. So here, as you can see, after the first run, 1 has been shifted to the first index. After the second run, 2 has been shifted, and then 3, and then 4. So it's constantly finding the smallest value and pushing it to the front. So by the time it's done running, we have a full sorted list. So that's the basics of a selection sort algorithm. Thank you for watching my tutorials. Give it a thumbs up if you like it, and subscribe if you haven't, and also check me out on Instagram at coderush.io.